away from that tech.
Absolutely, yep. Now, I noticed you only work off 2 queens right now. Is there any particular reason why you haven't built more queens to spread creep? And, I mean, you were wondering kind of about, or, Vikings kind of force you, to want to get Hydras, but on this map you can't. Do you think with an extra few queens you would have been able to hold off any type of Viking or drop harassment at this point?
Yeah, I use queens sometimes, extra queens to help against Vikings, and I definitely do like making them sometimes in some matchups to help spread creep more and then eventually transfer them to new bases. The reason I haven't here is basically I'm a little bit behind economically. Normally, I do like to get a third queen on this map if possible. But I was hurt pretty early by all that rushing, and then I spent a lot of economy to get about 5 meters out. They didn't do a whole lot of damage, and now as you can see, I'm going to switch over into upgrades. So I'm getting my Baneling speed, my Roach speed. I'm getting 2 evolution chambers, and that's kind of what I'm spending all my money on. I don't really have money right now to afford getting the extra queens. And I also already have Overlord speed. His Vikings are a little bit late, so I don't really feel like the Vikings are going to give me too much trouble right now. I do have 4 Mutalisks still along with queens. That's going to be enough to save my Overlords for now. I can always pump out some other stuff later if need be.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and resync up the replay. I'm at 12:10, and I'm going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, start. All right, so yeah, now that he's transitioning obviously into Banelings and Roaches, both with the speed upgrades, spreading that creep is going to be important, and he is doing that. He's got a creep tumor out here going that way now. And looking at the economy tab, you're fairly even. He's got a few more harvesters up on you still, but you're on equal bases, and he's not gathering any gas from his expansion. So you're continuing to scout around with these Mutalisks. What are your thoughts going through your mind right now?
Well, my thought right now is, okay, let me get some upgrades. Let me get this pretty powerful unit combination. Some people that have been looking at my replays recently, notably Day9, have noticed against Terran I oftentimes like to go Roach Baneling. I think it's a pretty powerful combination because if you do it just right, you can just crush an army, which I've been saying it several times. That's my favorite way to get back in a game. Someone gets way ahead of you. Well, that's fine as long as if you really crush that first attack, you should still be all right. And if you look at his main base, it's actually a pretty good choice right now. He's getting a bunch of reactored barrackses. So, my Roach Baneling army, I think is a pretty good plan for right now. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just like, all right, get my economy up, get my upgrades going, and just, crush his army, then out macro him.
Absolutely. And his Marines are going to be upgraded 1-1 here in a little bit. And you'll be just working off 1-1, just starting now, I guess. Or I know yours are about halfway done as well, so you're kind of on equal ground there as well. Lots of Vikings in the air for him, though. Does that scare you off a little with those mutas, I guess?
Well, yeah, I mean, that, as you just saw, he just totally destroyed a muta in like a second. My mutas are basically not going to do much for the rest of the game.
Right.
I'll either choose to sit them in strategic locations as scouts or to just sit in my main base to try to, stop him from hurting me. Now, you see his drop is coming over here. My mutas really should have gone back through the middle. It's too bad that they didn't, but I guess my Zergling just saw it on the tower. Yeah.
So he's kind of a double-prong attack here. He's taken out your Overlords with his Vikings because you have nothing to really attack the Overlords. And your Roaches are sitting here idle, not coming after the Marines here while your lair dies. Was that intentional, or were you just kind of...
No, this was actually a huge mistake. I don't know why my Roaches didn't go. I think I misclicked is all it was, because I had more than enough to destroy his stupid little attack right there.
Yeah.
That wasn't even actually a smart attack by him. He should have... Well, it worked out. He runs in, he takes out the Queen with the Marines. That's a great move. Killing the Overlords is a great move, but really, he should have done almost no damage to me. He should have gotten, a few Overlords, my Queen. But other than that, I should be able to clean up really easily. But instead, I lost drones, I lost my lair. I'm in horrible position now. I was actually doing really good on the way to coming back, but for some reason I attack moved my Roaches in the middle of the main instead of towards the Marines.
Do you feel like that may have costed you the game? I see you've got a ton of Roaches here.
Yeah. I mean, I got my economy up really, really well. I got good upgrades. My units were enough to counter his units, really. You know, I had a totally decent army for fighting him. I was getting really mobile, getting my creep around, getting my upgrades going a lot. Yeah, I really definitely feel that in particular made it so that he's going to win this game. You know, I mean, look at this army I have moving down the map. It would be reinforced so much. I'd be expanding right now, but instead I messed up, lost that hatchery, and he is way ahead because of it.
And now he's coming back to do the same thing to your natural, and you don't have quite enough forces here to deal with. You've got a ton of resources. Is that because you lost a hatchery and your production dropped?
Well, it's more because I lost so many overlords. If you look at my supply, it's 106 of 106. So I've actually, not only did he supply cap me, hurt my economy, all this other stuff, but I just did not have the supply needed to make more units here. But as you see down at his base, like I'm attacking him to him right now.
Yep.
I mean, imagine if I had saved that hatchery and not lost, you know, for the overlords. See, I almost killed this guy anyways. It's actually kind of sad. I really feel I should have had this game, but you know, I made that mistake with attack move in the roaches. Kind of a sloppy move.
Right. Now he's bringing his dropships back at this point, which is good, but I mean, he killed off your natural expansion while your main hatchery's just getting back up. You've got a few roaches in his base. You've got burrow. And I believe you got tunneling claws already, right? Yes, you do. Do you feel like you have a chance to come back in this game, or do you feel like it's just too much at this point?
No, at this point I feel it's like 99% he's going to take it. You know, and that's too bad because I actually, at this point, I remember while I was playing this game, as I was attacking his main base, I was thinking to myself, wow, if I had just attack moved into the Marines instead of the middle of my base, I would have crushed this kid, like, really badly.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I didn't, and that has piled up into this loss.
Yeah, small mistakes like that can make such a big difference in the overall aspect of StarCraft 2, of course. And as long as you can watch your replays and realize what went wrong, anyone can improve, whether you're a pro or a beginner. And with that, it's going to be the end of Game 1. I don't think I have anything to cover on this map or about this game. Do you have any additional comments to add?
No, not really. I mean, I think it came down to that one mistake that really cost me everything.
All right. Let's go ahead and move into Game 2. I'm going to stop the recording here, and we'll give us both a chance to load up the second game on Steps of War.